In this video, I'm going to show you guys 25 different AI tools that will really separate the winners from the losers, not only in 2025, but really in the foreseeable future in general. And obviously the undertone of what I'm going to be talking about will be a business and making money kind of context, but really you guys can use whatever I talk about for any general purpose that you guys might have in your life. But first of all, a couple things to get out the way before we get started. So why would you guys listen to me? Well, I've been using AI for multiple years now. I've been using it for business. I've been using it for personal stuff. I've used it in many different projects. I feel like I got a pretty good understanding because I've had my finger on the pulse of the industry for so long now. So that's number one. Number two is that obviously I couldn't include every single one of your favorite AI tools within this video. Otherwise it'd be 500 years long. But if you guys have anything that you think I really missed out on or deserves to be on this list, then leave a comment below and I'll explore it. Maybe I'll even drop another YouTube video on that one in particular. Something else that I want to make abundantly clear to you guys is that because I'm addressing 25 different AI tools, I'm not going to be going into depth with each one. Otherwise, again, the video would be 500 years long. Instead, I'm just going to provide a brief kind of synopsis as to what it does, what you can use it for, and then we'll continue from there. If you guys do want to follow along or you want a document where you can kind of make it the headquarters of all of your AI different tools and websites, then I do have a document link below. In order to get it, all you have to do is join the free community. I have a link there, free community right here. You'll get a bunch of different stuff. As you can see, we're up to 277 people now, which is pretty sick. And also, guys, if you do want to book a call with me, I just made this website, brandboostai.com.au. Link will be down in the description. Yeah, cool, whatever. Now listen, this video is going to be separated into 8 different categories just so it's a little bit more digestible. It's not as overwhelming for people who are new to AI. So number 1, we've got automations with regard to your workflow. Then we've got email automations at number 2. At number 3, we've got app/software building. At number 4, we've got image adjustments. At number 5, we've got image generations. At number 6, we've got AI voiceovers. At number 7, we've got AI video generation. And at number 8, we've got the big dog, which is LLMs or chatbots, stuff like ChatGPT. Obviously, I'll throw that in. So now let's actually get into the list. So first up on the list in the automating workflow category, we have Zapier. Now, Zapier I've been using for literally maybe close to 2 years now. And it's funny because when I was using it, I had no idea about really even close to as much as I do now about AI. So I was an ultra noob and I was still finding it so easy to use. And that's what I was about to say. Zapier is so unbelievably easy. If you don't really have any prior knowledge about how to use AI integrations, it makes it extremely easy. But that leads on to number 2, which is Make.com. Now, from my experience, Make.com is much cheaper, it's much more efficient, but it doesn't have as many partnerships or integrations, I guess, as what Zapier does. So in order to use Make.com, a lot of the time, you're going to have to get like webhooks and API keys in order to plug it into Make.com to make it achieve the same integrations that Zapier might have just by clicking a single button. But that being said, they're both extremely good business automation tools, and really you can't go wrong with either one of them. And if we go back to Zapier real quick, just so I can show you guys, they both kind of follow a similar format where it starts with one thing, it goes on to the next, goes on to the next. It's kind of like a mind map or a flow chart in that sense. And Make.com kind of does the same thing, just in a little bit of a different format, but it's the same kind of premise. So if you can use one, you can pretty much use the other, and they're very simple to use. And obviously both of these AI tools are especially good for if you want to merge together multiple different actions. So let's say, for example, if someone joins your community, then you want to put them into your community Discord. And then once they join your community Discord, you want to trigger an email campaign that sends them emails over the course of the next 5 days. And you can do that all with one simple action. Now, let's move on to AI tool number 3, which is going to move us on to the email automation category. So the first one that we have is Instantly. Now, Instantly is one of the most well-known, one of the easiest to use when it comes to email automation in the entire business space. And basically what you can do with it is a whole bunch of stuff. You can warm up your emails, you can send out thousands of emails per day, you can scrape clients from a list of a database that Instantly has. There's so many different use cases for it, and it's extremely simple. I have seen mixed reviews here and there when it comes to the deliverability of the emails. Yeah, Instantly is a great tool if you're looking to kind of automate your outreach. All right, now the next tool on the list is called Smartlead.AI, and it fills a very similar purpose to the Instantly website that I just showed you guys. But the main difference with Smartlead, as far as I know, is that it's very honed in on cold emails. It doesn't do any of the extra stuff that Instantly does. And from what I've seen as well, especially with the reviews, I haven't actually used it myself yet, but from what I've seen, the interface is extremely easy to use. It's extremely beginner friendly, and I've seen a lot of satisfied customers when it comes to deliverability, like I was talking with Instantly. So if you're looking for just straight email deliverability, then Smartlead might be the better option for you when it comes to cold outreach and automated emails. All right, now we are moving on to AI tool number 5, which is now in the category of app/software building, and it goes by the name of Cursor. Now, the next two tools that I show you guys, Cursor included, are honestly two of my favorite AI tools and AI use cases. So basically what Cursor can help you to do is, if you're an AI noob, Cursor will basically help you code whatever it is that you want to code. So if you're coding a website or an app, or you need help creating whatever you want to create really that involves code, then Cursor will basically help you. You do have to download it and run it locally as far as I know, but it's an extremely simple way of just kind of getting your feet into the water of coding without being overwhelmed by all the different bullshit that might come along with it. Because trust me, I'm a complete noob when it comes to but both Cursor and let's move on to the sixth one, which is Bolt.new, have made it so unbelievably easy for me to actually build things. And over the past couple of weeks, I've actually had a lot of fun trying to create all these different things and use cases when it comes to building apps and software. So it really helps me kind of get into coding in almost like a fun way, because I've always hated the look of coding. And I've always thought it's just, you can stay over there, I'll stay over here, and I don't need to see you for the rest of my life. But honestly, it's been pretty fun. So long story short, if you guys want to build any apps or softwares or websites and you really don't have any coding experience and you don't have the budget of $100 million to spend on people to build it for you, then Cursor and Bolt.new are great places to start. All right, now let's move on to the AI image adjustments or image editing category. Now, a lot of you guys might already be familiar with this one. It's something called Photopea. And Photopea is basically like an online free substitution to Photoshop. If you can't get Photoshop or you don't want to use Photoshop, then Photopea is a great alternative. And the reason why I'm including this, it's not because obviously, Photoshop in general is not an AI tool, but it does have a tool here which goes by the name of Magic Replace. And basically what it allows you to do is, you can see up here with these buttons, you can replace, you can remove certain objects that you kind of mask out or select over the top. Now, like I said, this isn't going to be a tutorial video, although I might actually make a tutorial video on this now that I think about it. Take my word for it, it's actually extremely good, especially if you don't have Photoshop. All right, now AI tool number 8 is called ComfyUI, and a lot of you guys have probably heard of this already. If you haven't, then you probably haven't been in the AI space for long. Now, ComfyUI is basically a node-based AI builder, software, application, whatever you want to call it, but it basically helps you do a similar thing to what I showed you guys with Zapier and Make.com, but this time in the context of more AI-related use cases. So for example, in my glyph video that I made last week, I believe it was, I showed you guys how you can use a prompt and then you enhance that prompt, and then you can generate the image from the enhanced prompt, and then you can upscale the image that was created, right? And basically you can do similar stuff to that in ComfyUI, all within your local machine. So you don't have to worry about credits, you don't have to worry about paying a subscription fee or anything like that. It's completely free. And the only thing that you do have to worry about, and I should make this very clear, is that ComfyUI, because it's run on your local machine, will obviously use your GPU. So if you don't have a good GPU or a high-end GPU, it'll either take a very, very long time to finish certain sequences, or you might just not be able to run it in general. But if you can, then ComfyUI is a great tool for just about almost any of the categories I listed here in this video. So keep in mind, I'm not going to mention it again because obviously I'm mentioning it right now, but you can use it for image adjustments, you can use it for image generation, you can use it for video generation, you can use it for LLMs. There's so many different use cases, but it's a whole other world, so I'm not even going to talk about that right now. But what we are going to talk about is AI tool number 9, which is Leonardo.Ai. And Leonardo.Ai has a special place in my heart because I probably have the most usage time on Leonardo.Ai when it comes to any image generation website. And the reason why is because it's such an easy interface, it's so intuitive, and they're adding new stuff literally like pretty much every day at this point. You can see over here, this is all the different image adjustments that you can do. You have real-time canvas, which allows you to do in-painting and out-painting, real-time generations, you have image to motion, you have an upscaler, you have a canvas editor where you can extend the image or detract from the image. There's so many different use cases, but obviously this overlaps both in 2 categories. You can do, I guess kind of 3 categories if you count the image to motion, but this, you can do all these adjustments that I mentioned right here, but obviously at its core, Leonardo.Ai was built to be an image generation tool. Now we're moving on to AI tool number 10, which is also in the image generation category, but this is actually quite a funny one because Playground AI, or playground.com, was originally made to be an image generation platform, kind of the same as Leonardo, the same as Midjourney, but instead what it's actually become is kind of like a branding AI generation website. So as you can see, there's different stuff that you can generate here. You can generate art, stickers, wallpapers, posters, a bunch of different stuff. So if you guys are into it, then check it out. But honestly, I haven't actually used it. I used the version of Playground there was an image, like a proper just general image generator. But if you guys want to check it out, I'm sure if you have a business or you run different social media pages, then it'll probably be pretty useful to you. All right, now next up, we obviously couldn't finish the AI image generation category without mentioning Midjourney. This is probably the most popular AI image generation website that there is. I'm sure you guys have probably heard about it. So you can see a bunch of different examples right here. You can use a bunch of different models. But truth be told, guys, to be honest with you, I haven't actually used Midjourney that much. And I forget why I ever decided to use Leonardo.AI instead of Midjourney. But literally ever since I first got into AI image generations, there was like a fork in the road, right? And on the right side, it was Midjourney. On the left side, it was Leonardo. I decided to pick Leonardo and I haven't looked back since. So whatever you guys want to use, you can use either. You can use both if you want to. Just know that they're both top quality choices. Now, let's move on with the next category and the next tool, which is going to be AI voiceovers, in which we're going to be sharing ElevenLabs. Now, I have a very, very strong opinion on this, guys, because I've seen so many different variations of people suggesting different websites and saying that this free alternative is better. Guys, when it comes to the AI voiceover game, there's only one truth, okay? And that's that ElevenLabs is far ahead, better than anybody else, okay? And it might be a sad pill to swallow because of the fact that obviously you have to pay to get the best out of it, but I don't know what type of secret sauce they have, guys, and I've explored various different models and websites and stuff like that. ElevenLabs is just so far ahead with the game, you can't really get a substitute for it. So you can see down here, there's a bunch of different use cases. You got text to speech, speech to text, you got a voice changer, you got dubbing, text to sound effects, you got voice cloning, and then obviously in the paid one, you can make custom voices and stuff like that. So there's just so many different variations and things that you can do. I literally, this entire category, there's only two things that I kind of put in here. Number one is ElevenLabs. Number two is CapCut over here. It's almost like, obviously, it's not going to be your first choice, but the built-in CapCut kind of AI voiceover actually isn't that bad. The thing is that if you're looking for professional level, you always want to go with ElevenLabs. But if you recognize and you don't care that people are going to be able to realize that it's an AI voice, then CapCut is actually quite a good alternative that you can use. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically an entire editing software. But one of the features is that you can use the AI voiceovers. It's actually got plenty of different stuff, and CapCut is one of the only subscriptions that I'd recommend getting when it comes to AI, because there's so much that you can do. But yeah, the voiceover is actually really good when it comes to CapCut. So just to recap, CapCut is AI tool number 13. And now let's move on to the next category and tool number 14, which is Viggle in the category of AI video generation. And this category is probably the biggest category that we have. Now, I wanted to start off with Viggle because it's actually such a unique, such a cool idea, okay? So Viggle is kind of what you use if you're not trying to achieve like a professional, realistic video that people are going to be like, whoa, is that AI or real? Or they don't know what. That's not what you're going for here. Viggle is the kind of stuff that you post on, like you can see right here, these examples. It's the kind of stuff that you post on social media with people knowing that it's AI, but they don't care because of the humor or the context or just funny elements that you can use it for. There's so many different things that you can do. You can like switch out a character for an image that you're like inputting into the machine. You can change a character from a video, like you guys can see right here. There's so many different things you can do. I would highly recommend it if you're like a social media manager, because some of these videos, it's so easy to make and it'll just go insane and do insane numbers if you post it on your socials. And you can see down here, there's a few examples. So they put in that image, then the image covers over the video. We've got character motion. It's going to swap, it's going to make the character do the same motion that the guy's doing. Yeah, a bunch of different stuff. I'm not going to go through everyone. It's not a tutorial video. Let's move on. Number 15, which is Luma AI or Luma Dream Machine. They've actually got one of the sickest websites. Luma AI is one of the most high quality video generation platforms that there are. Let me just actually show you guys a couple examples right here. All right, so this is just a quick example that I made here a while ago. So it's going to be basically Iron Man shifting into like a different suit. I know it's a short little video, but it kind of demonstrates you guys how high quality it is. Like, that looks pretty sick to me. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, which is going to be Runway. Now, Runway is AI tool number 16, and it is by far my most used AI video generator that I've used literally all together. So you can see there's a bunch of different examples right here. One thing that's really good about Runway, as you just saw, is kind of like the physics within the generations that it creates. It really seems to understand how liquids and airs and, all these different things interact with each other. And another thing that Runway is doing that's just really cool, I thought I'd mention it, is that they're always hosting like different meetups and different shows and contests and stuff like that. So if you do get really into AI video generation, there's a bunch of different stuff that Runway always hosts that you can actually compete and kind of like get your name out there if you want to. All right, so next up at tool number 17, we have Pika Labs. Now, Pika Labs used to be kind of shit, I'll be honest, okay? But it's definitely been getting better the later that it's, well, the more that it's been kind of releasing new updates, okay? So as you can see right here, there's a bunch of different templates, and I'm just going to hover over and show you guys some stuff. So obviously this starts with like real images or real videos, and it kind of transitions into a bunch of different stuff. Anyway, Pika Labs kind of specializes in the ability to kind of transform real life videos that already exist. So if you're going to use Pika Labs for anything in the AI video generation space, then I'd say use it for that. But if I'm being completely honest with you, if you're just looking for raw AI video generations, then I'd probably just go with either Runway or Luma, or there's another one coming up on this list, which I'm about to show you guys. So let's move on. Tool number 18, which, listen, I don't know how to say this one, okay? I think it's Hailuo or Hailuo AI, who knows, okay? Honestly, whatever. This, I'm gonna just call this AI video generation model, really specializes in high quality, almost like movie material video generation. So you can see all right here, obviously, this was all these different examples that I'm showing you guys. This was all created, obviously using Hailuo or Hailuo, whatever. Like, look how sick this is. We've even got like an anime example up here. Now, obviously, this is on the Explore page, so it's obviously the top quality generations that have occurred. Now, if you just hop onto this image generator, you can't really expect to get this type of result. But yeah, you can kind of get an idea for what it's capable of. It's an extremely good video generator model, and I'd say this is probably in my top 3. So we've got Runway, I'd throw in there. We've got Hailuo or Hailuo, and then the next one, which I'd put in my top 3, actually probably at number 1, is going to be the next one on the list, which is Kling AI. So this, as you can see, I've even got credits loaded up here. That kind of puts my money where my mouth is. So this is by far the video generation model that I've used the most. And look at the first one that I hover over. Like, look how insane that is. You got this, like a fat ass elephant taking over a city that turns into what is that, like a Greek god? I don't know. Got like a K-pop, that's just an image. We got a cat doing 360s like he's defusing the bomb in Call of Duty or something. Snow falling. To be honest with you, Kling is it's just been my favorite for a long time now. Runway did start as my favorite, and it's still my most used model, but Kling is quickly becoming my favorite altogether. I mean, I already said it's my favorite. So that wraps up the AI video generator category, and now we're moving into the final and the biggest category, which is the LLMs, or the large language models, or the chatbots, whatever you want to call it. So the first one that we're going to be starting off with is number 20 on the list, which is, of course, everyone guessed it, ChatGPT. Now, I'm not going to linger here for too long. ChatGPT is probably the best LLM that you can use when it comes to conversational purposes. I use this pretty much every day of my life, which is actually insane to say. It's kind of sad, to be honest with you. But as you'll see here, there's a couple different LLMs that I also use in synergy with ChatGPT. So number 21 on the list is going to be none other than Grok. Now, if you guys don't know what Grok is, this is basically xAI's LLM. Obviously, it was developed, I guess, by Elon Musk and his team and all that. So that's the story behind it. I don't really care about all the details. All I know is that it's just extremely good. So I've been using Grok every day, similar to ChatGPT. Like I just said, I kind of go back and forth between the two models almost. And if you didn't know as well, there's 2 different websites that you can use. So the one that I have up right here, obviously you can see I'm logged in, is the Grok interface that's basically within the Twitter UI. But if you don't have Twitter or you don't want to use Twitter for whatever reason, there's also a standalone website which is called Grok.com. They're both extremely good. I would use Grok 10 out of 10 times if I'm doing stuff related to like technical stuff like coding or mathematical equations or stuff like that. I'd pick it over ChatGPT. But if I'm just talking like general stuff and just want a quick answer, whatever, then I'm using ChatGPT every other time. All right, so next up, AI tool number 22 is going to be DeepSeek. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of this one. It actually took the world by storm about maybe like a month ago now that I think about it. So it's been quite a while. I'll be honest with you guys. When DeepSeek first came out, I wanted to see what the hype was about. It didn't really live up to my expectations, and since then, not much has changed. If you guys don't know, it's already a meme. I literally have a video about it on my YouTube channel. The fact that you can maybe get 3, 4, maybe 5 if you're lucky, messages out to DeepSeek before it says, yo bruv, the server is busy, get off the platform and go use our competitors. So although it's a really good free alternative to like ChatGPT and Grok and all that, you really can't get much use out of it unless you install it locally. That's the one caveat that I will say. So really, like, the only use case that I can think up for it is if you really don't want to spend any money, then just download the local version. And it's honestly not too bad. It's just the fact that in the online version, you can barely use it before it breaks down. All right, so next up we have AI tool number 23, which is going to be Perplexity.AI. Now this is a special one because really before I even seen AI tools that were capable of kind of scouring the internet and drawing from articles and posts and blogs and stuff like that, Perplexity did it better than anything else for the longest time. It's only in recent times that we have stuff like, well, to be honest, ChatGPT does it now, DeepSeek does it, Grok does it. It's basically standard practice to do it now, but Perplexity was really paving the road for a long time. I know a lot of people would use Perplexity to write YouTube videos if they wanted to kind of make like an informational video. You could just search something up, make a script about how Michael Jordan went to the NBA, and it would go through all these different articles and find out in this year he did this, and in this year he did this, and you could basically just make a YouTube script out of whatever Perplexity found. So it's kind of like an OG in that sense. It's an extremely good model. The only thing is that I don't believe it's kind of been getting better at a pace that is on par with all of the big dogs like Grok and ChatGPT and Claude and all that. Actually, I just mentioned Claude, so I guess it's a good time to move on to AI tool number 24, which is going to be Claude. I haven't even logged in here, but all of you guys probably know Claude if you know ChatGPT. I will say, and this might be me going out on a limb a little bit here to say, but in my opinion, Claude 3.7 Sonnet, which is the most recent version that Claude released, is probably the best LLM model that exists on the internet today. And the time that I'm making this video is the 20th of March, 2025. But I don't think it's crazy for me to say that. I've used it a few times here and there. The only downside is that you do have to pay a lot in order to use it. But outside of that, in terms of just if everything was free, I'd say Claude 3.7 Sonnet is the best model there is. Real quick, guys, before I show you guys the very last AI tool, I wanted to just remind you guys again, I'll have a link down in the description if you guys want to get this document. It has all of the different websites and tools listed here, plus a few extras. I'll be updating this as AI tools come out and as AI tools update. So it's a really good resource to have if you want to get it. Again, just join the free community. I'll have a link down in the description. Now, let's move on to the final AI tool. All right, guys, so the 25th and final AI tool on the list, especially in the LLM category, is going to be Microsoft's Copilot. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, before when LLMs weren't that great, I used Copilot a little bit here and there because I was trying to find an alternative for ChatGPT, and it was actually decent. Since then, when all the AI tools have become much better, I actually haven't used Copilot in like the last 8 months. So I don't know how good it's become. Let me just say hi. Great response. Look, it's a good LLM, guys. But yeah, all I can say is that it's a solid LLM. It's up there with some of the better ones. But since I've used it, I haven't heard any, crazy announcements or updates and stuff like that. So I'd probably just say when it comes to the LLM category, you're probably best off sticking with obviously ChatGPT, you got Grok, and you got Claude. Those are probably the top three that I'd recommend. Not probably. Those are definitely the top three that I'd recommend. You can probably put Perplexity in there. I really don't like DeepSeek, and I haven't used Copilot. So yeah. So that is 25 different AI tools that will separate the winners from the losers in 2025 and beyond. Thanks for watching. Peace.